How's it going, everyone? This is Daniel. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tesla stock and the overall stock market. We're going to go over a look at exactly what to expect for the next few days. We have some important news that we're going to be talking about Tesla, why it could potentially rebound significantly after we get past the economic headache of inflation. We're also going to be talking about Amazon stock. The stock split is coming up, why the stock is going into the upside today. So we're going to cover all this important information in this video coming up. As you can see over here, we have Tesla stock that's sitting at $758.26. We're relatively flat. We're only down 0.18%. When you look at Tesla stock compared to the overall stock market, as you can see, the overall market was also relatively flat. We have Amazon stock that we're going to be talking about. It's up 4.4% to the upside. Their stock split is coming up on Friday, June the 3rd. We talked about it like last week, and we also going to have a stock split, another company, which is Google, which is up 1.1%. Apple slightly down, Microsoft slightly down. The overall market was relatively flat, but we have some retail stocks that is just continuously dropping. We have Target that is down another 3.15% to the downside. So when you go over and look at detailed breakdown of Tesla stock, as you can see, Tesla is sitting at $758. We're looking at the $750 area as a support. We close above it. After hours, we're also above that price point, so that's relatively pretty good. When you look at also the overall market, we slightly rejected the resistance price point level that we're watching, which is right around over here. As you can see, we rejected it a little bit, but we're still close enough. We have a pullback. We had pretty decent couple of days. We had multiple green days. We bounced off of the lows, which is around $380.54, and we're slightly pulling back, so that's relatively pretty good. Tomorrow we have some important economic data coming out. We have job openings data for the month of April. Anticipated number is around 11.4 million. So if you get any kind of a surprise, that could have an impact on the overall market. We also have motor vehicle sales and also ISM manufacturing data coming out at 10 a.m. So that's going to be really important data to watch out for. That could have some form of an impact with the overall stock market. So as you can see, also for Amazon have a stock split coming out on Friday. We are having a pretty decent bounce from the lows. As you can see over here, even though the overall market was weak today, we have Amazon that's up 4.4%. The lows that we made was around $2,225. We're having a pretty decent bounce, so we'll see if we can have a continuation to the upside. It was ideal to buy it a few days ago that when we talked about it, because it was relatively closer to the support line. Right now, it seems like you're chasing it if you're trying to buy it, but of course, if you're going to be holding it for the long term, it's ideal because it kind of dropped significantly. While at one point the stock was trading above $3,000, right now we're sitting below $2,500. So give and take on what your thesis and how your long-term investment style is when it comes to Amazon. We also talked about that Amazon is actually losing money when it comes to investing in electric vehicles. They invested in Rivian, and they've lost billions and billions of dollars based off of that investment alone. So definitely be careful also investing in that. We also have Google, which have a stock split coming up. It did pretty well today. It's up 1.1%. So now let's go over and look at exactly what to expect for Tesla stock for tomorrow. So for the next few days, what to expect for Tesla. We're sitting above $750, so that is very bullish sign that we're still above this key price point level. If the overall market just continues to go higher and higher, if you don't have any kind of big surprise tomorrow, we could see Tesla edging closer and closer to $800. Even if we see significant decline or a pullback, we might see Tesla stock in between $720 to $750 by tomorrow. We are getting more updates about Elon Musk and a Twitter deal, but as you can see, we also have Twitter stock that was relatively flat today. It had a significant bounce the last few days, but as you can see over here, it's still relatively flat, and it can go either way. We don't know what kind of breaking news that can come out that can significantly shift the trend for Twitter stocks. Now we're going to be watching a detailed video about why Tesla stock could be one of those stocks that can rebound hard after we get past this economic headache of inflation and other issues that's happening around the world. Why Tesla stock could be one of those stocks that can see a significant increase in price. So we're going to be watching a detailed breakdown of that.
When you look at over the last 2 years, so remember 2020, you had COVID, in 2021, you had it reopen. Inflation's averaged about 3.3% if you look at the core PCE. So we see inflation easing throughout the year. You're already seeing it come down. And as the Fed will take a 50 basis point increase in June, and then again in July, and then we think it's going to pause. So that lets us be more confident that growth stocks will continue to rebound, as you saw last week. Not happening today, but we think that over time you're going to see growth stocks rebound. So we're just sticking to our bets, which are, we have mega trends that back each of our portfolio bets, and we're staying with them.
Gary, what has this period been like for you? You're just looking at the future fund. Your top two holdings are Tesla and Alphabet. What are you telling investors when essentially stocks like this are getting hit so hard?
Yeah, you got to be patient. And look, we've been through this before. If you look at Russell value, it's down about 8% since the beginning of the year. Russell growth is down about 25%. So any growth stock that you bought didn't work so far this year. And that's because the Fed has raised rates the quickest pace since the 80s. Again, if you think that that's going to ease, if we believe that rates they'll go up again in June and July, but as long as the Fed pauses, because as you get close to the end of the second quarter, my guess is you'll see people bringing down second quarter GDP numbers. You already had a first quarter GDP number that was negative. We're not predicting the second quarter will be negative, but if you get a number that's closer to zero, my bet is the Fed will pause, and you have QT starting today, which is $47.5 billion a month. We think that will probably get pushed back a little bit. So we're staying the course. As you mentioned, Tesla's our biggest position. It had a tremendous 2020 and a good 2021. It's been down this year because it's a long duration stock. And it's also been down because Elon decided he wanted to go after Twitter, which proved to be a distraction. But as the Twitter overhang lifts, which once Elon gets control of Twitter, which we think he will, but at a reduced price, then the fundamentals of Tesla can shine through. And you got great fundamentals. If you look at earnings revisions this year, they're up about 35% since the beginning of the year. So analysts keep taking their estimates up for Tesla. Second quarter is going to be weak because of China COVID, but most investors look past one quarter, one-time event. People usually look past it. And as you get to the back half of the year, people are going to look forward to the Cybertruck coming out. They're going to look to Europe having they have its own plant, and they'll be ramping up production there. They'll have a sub $25,000 car at some point. And full self-driving, while we don't look at it as being an incremental business, it will help sell more Teslas. So we're still very bullish about Tesla. It's our largest position in our fund.
Just a brief follow-up on that. What price do you believe that Elon Musk goes after Twitter for, if Twitter is even willing to say, all right, we'll hear you out on whatever this new price is that you want to put forward?
Right. And then look, this is a three-part drama, if you will. He basically bid 54.20 without doing any due diligence. Well, he waived his due diligence. And then when the market started to fall and growth stocks started to fall, he came up with this idea that, well, the bots and the fake accounts are at least 5%. And so he's been rattling their cage for, I'd say, a couple of weeks now, I think trying to get the price down. Now, we don't believe he'll actually walk away, but he'll threaten to walk away. And if I'm the Twitter board, I don't want to put my business plan on hold for the next 18 to 24 months. Remember, Elon wants to change the revenue plan from being 90% advertising to a much greater percent Twitter fees. So basically charging for users to get a check mark next to their name, get rid of the bots. So he wants to charge $3 a month and see if he can get more users that way. But if I'm the Twitter board, I don't want to put the business plan, if I've already agreed to sell it to Elon, while they fight him in the courts. So I think at the end of the day, Elon's going to threaten to walk away, or he's going to get a reduced price. Twitter will have to sue him to try to enforce the deal. But at the end of the day, with most of these things, you see these guys settle. The last one we saw was LVMH and Tiffany. When you had COVID, LVMH walked away and they negotiated a lower price. I think the price will wind up being about $45 a share, and then they'll call it a day. And then that overhang will lift Tesla. One of the things people worry about every time Tesla falls, as it is this morning, is maybe Elon's selling more shares because he needs more equity financing in order to close the deal. And what I tell people is he's got lots of folks who want to buy Twitter with him. But if you get a $45 price instead of a $54 price, it makes it a lot more compelling to an outside investor, an outside equity investor.
So for tomorrow, just keep an eye on Tesla for $750. If we stay above it and how the overall market reacts, we might be getting it closer and closer to $800. And if you get any kind of negative headlines between Elon Musk or Twitter, and if you got any kind of updates about Tesla, Shanghai factory, and etc., we might see some form of volatility in the short term, but we're still slightly bullish in the short term. We're going higher and higher, so we're slightly bullish in the short term in this price action that we're looking at. So if you see any kind of breakdown, just keep an eye on the $700 price point level. It is a pretty decent support, and that's going to be the worst case scenario in the short term if Tesla stock decides to pull back aggressively. So for the overall market also, we are seeing a slight rejection, but as I mentioned, we had a pretty strong rally the past 4 days, and it's just expected to have at least 1 day of pullback. And if we just shrug off any kind of this bearish momentum that we had the last few weeks, we might potentially be going closer to 420, 425. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Tesla? Can it have a massive rebound after we get past this inflation nightmare that we're experiencing right now? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you want to also participate on the poll that I just posted yesterday, make sure to go to the community tab and let me know what you think. If you're interested in supporting the channel or not, I'll let hear your opinion. Also, you can participate on that poll. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. But I'll catch you guys on another video tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.